Before we get started, just a disclaimer. We want to thank PDMovie for sending us the Live Air 2 wireless follow focus for review, but we're not paid or asked to say anything besides our own opinions. And PDMovie does not get to see this video before it is published, so they only get to watch this video the same time as you do. Let's get straight to the point. The latency of the Live Air 2 is very minimal. We're talking about milliseconds, which is awesome. You can be very precise when pulling focus with the controller too. Every time when you use the Live Air 2, you just have to press and hold the power button on the controller, put the battery into the focus motor, wait till both LED lights are solid, click the power button on the controller once, twice, and hold until the motor starts the auto calibration, and that's it. Very simple. Since there's only one button on each module, you can only adjust the settings by using different clicking patterns. But the cool thing is they actually printed the patterns on the module itself, so you don't really need to remember them. Another very important thing for a wireless follow focus is the amount of torque that it has. On paper, the Live Air 2 has a torque of 0.5 Nm. Compared to other wireless follow focus on the market, the Live Air 2 torque is on the lower side, but it works with all my lenses, including the Mikey cine lenses and the Siri anamorphic lenses. So for indie filmmakers, most likely you will have no problem. But for bigger cine lenses, you should test it first before you bring it on set. The focus motor is very quiet. It will generate a very generic power follow focus noise when the gear is interlocking with the gear on the lens. So I would suggest not to record audio with any on-camera microphone because it will pick up the noise. One of the biggest selling points of the Live Air 2 is the complete wireless setup. Both the controller and the motor are powered by batteries. That means you can have a super long lens and still mount the focus motor without worrying about the power supply to the motor. One very cool thing of the PDMovie's focus motor is the ability to pair with other controllers from PDMovie, so you can expand your setup in the future without buying a whole new package. Both the controller and the motor use some sort of proprietary battery. You can get the Li42B battery somewhere else, but they kind of glued two together to power the motor, so might as well just get them from PDMovie if you ever needed to replace them. The controller uses one Li42B battery. The only downside I can think of using a specific battery with any product is you might now have another type of battery to charge and another type of charger to keep. It will be great if PDMovie can give us the option to power the controller and the motor externally if we choose to. Talking about the battery, the way to remove the battery from the controller and the focus motor is extremely not intuitive. For the controller, you have to use your thumb to kind of press and push the battery out from the cutout behind the clamp. You will most likely have to turn the clamp around to remove the battery. For the focus motor, I first thought the battery got stuck because no matter how hard I press and push, it just won't move. I was going to email PDMovie to ask for help, but I finally figured it out, and the way to remove the battery is by pressing it against the side, then push it out. I really hope they can change this design in the future. Then I realized there is sort of an angled arrow to show you what direction to push. Also, the motor module does not have an on-off button, so if you keep the battery inside it, it will stay on and drain the battery. You will have to remove the battery in order to power it off. I really don't get this design choice too. They did include a charger in the box, and you can charge up to 2 dual batteries at once, which is nice. For some reason, the charger is made out of some sort of silicone rubber, which there's nothing wrong, just kind of interesting. They also included 2 USB to micro USB cables in the box, which is very nice too. Since this is a wireless follow focus, the connection strength is very important. PDMovie advertised it to be 100-meter max if the environment is ideal, which I assume it is with no obstacles between the modules. When we were testing the Live Air 2, the connection was very solid even when I was about 20 feet away. I don't have that big of a space to test the max distance, but I don't know if you will ever be that far away from the camera when pulling focus, unless your camera is on a drone. The controller or the focus wheel of the Live Air 2 is definitely a lot smaller than the traditional follow focus wheel from other companies. I think it is a good thing if you are an one-man band type of filmmaker and you are pulling focus without an AC. If you always have an AC to pull focus for you, they might prefer having a bigger focus wheel so they can put markings on the wheel. Also, it might be easier to be more precise when you are pulling focus with a bigger focus wheel. The small focus wheel design is definitely great because you can basically control the focus with your thumb, and it is pretty easy to do a full rotation while keeping your thumb on the wheel. I'm sure this is one of the smallest wireless follow focus systems on the market at the moment. Again, great for solo filmmakers. For your reference, my hand is about 8 inches wide and it is pretty comfortable using my thumb to control the focus wheel. The focus wheel comes with a clamp system that you can mount it to a lot of different places because it opens up pretty wide. We have mounted it on our camera cage, shoulder rig, and gimbal handle without any problem. The only thing I wish they can do in the future is to make the thumb screw a little bit smaller or even removable so people can use other type of mount to attach the controller. I'm guessing that they are making the thumb screw to rest on your other fingers as a point of support, which is not a bad idea too. Another way to control the focus motor is by using the Remote Air app made by PDMovie. You will be able to use the app to set AB focus point, which is very handy for repeat focus pulling. The build quality of the Live Air 2 is very solid, mainly made of metal, plastic, and rubber. This is very similar to other wireless follow focus systems. The only part that worries me when it comes to durability is the rubber focus wheel, but other parts, they should last pretty well. It is very nice that PDMovie included an adjustable half cage in the package so you don't have to worry about buying your own cage or if the Live Air 2 can fit on your cage or not. The cage is made of steel and the size is adjustable to fit most of the consumer mirrorless cameras. I think they designed the half cage based on most likely the widest consumer camera on the market, which is the BMPCC 4K and 6K. So if you use it on a smaller camera, you'll end up having some kind of a left handle, which is not bad at all. The height of the half cage can be adjusted to pretty tall, so it should fit most of the consumer cameras. They have included all the tools and screws that you will need to mount the cage onto your camera, even a cold shoe to Q20 adapter so you can use it on the cold shoe of your camera for the top screw. That is very thoughtful. If you want to use your own camera cage, PDMovie also included a 15mm rod that you can mount onto your cage. They basically thought of every situation for their customers, which is very nice. That's it. Those are my thoughts on the PDMovie Live Air 2 wireless follow focus system. If you're looking for a small and completely wireless follow focus, this is definitely a great budget option. It basically gives you everything you need in a package at a very reasonable price. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.